Hey, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope y'all had a good weekend. Roll Tide. Hope you had a good Sunday. Um, I did. Had a fabulous brunch, hanging out with some friends. So, I guess tonight's topic is going to be somewhat political, patriotic, which way you believe or don't believe. So we're going to go into not standing for the national anthem. Should somebody be, you know, looked down on, mistreated, criticized for not standing during the national anthem? Well, according to the First Amendment, you have the right of freedom. Oh, phone's unplugged. I got to keep that plugged in. Sorry, everyone. I'll try to keep my thought there. According to the First Amendment, you have the right to freedom of expression. So, these players who are not standing during the national anthem, they're exercising their First Amendment rights. Now, I'm a combat veteran. Been in a lot of several hot landing zones. Fortunately, I was never really in a lot of action. Stop, Dagger. Get up here. Get up here and lay down. Come on. I was never in a lot of action, but I'm a combat vet. So, I guess what I'm trying to get at is standing for the national anthem. I never perceived it as something wrong. I mean, if you don't want to stand, don't stand. I really don't care. It's not going to affect my day or another. I don't understand the protest that's going on about it. I mean, you're not standing for the national anthem for what reason? You don't like America, or you disagree with this country's policies? I mean, well, if you're not going to stand for the national anthem, what's the point? I mean, personally, I don't put my hand over my heart when the national anthem sang. I would stand for it, and I don't. Those are for different reasons that I have about I'm against making somebody pledge allegiance to a flag. I've always been against that. When you was a kid, they made you pledge allegiance to a flag, and I don't really disagree with that. But so I was watching a game earlier today, and you had players on one side that was locked arm in arm with their coaches and police and etc. And they was singing the national anthem, and you had players that was kneeling, and the players that was kneeling, you had other players touching other ones, and I just really don't understand what the big deal is. I mean, it's something to me that's been blown way, way out of proportion. I mean, if you don't want to stand during the national anthem, don't stand. I don't care. But it's become so divisive now that you've got one side that's saying, hey, you should be Kelvin, I know what the national anthem is. I can cite it word for word. Appreciate that, though. Anyway, sorry, I lost my train of topic. Lost my train of thought. Or the point, anyway, I was trying to make is, and I've seen the players stand arm in arm, standing with the national anthem, and I've seen them. The players that are kneeling, they've got their hands on them, and I guess it's a show of solidarity, and that's fine. I respect that. I mean, you can stand and for the national anthem and still show solidarity for your fellow brethren who doesn't stand for it. Like I said, personally, I mean, I had been to Iraq and Afghanistan, and was in several hot landing zones, but I don't give a damn. If you don't want to stand for the national anthem, don't stand. If you don't want to salute the flag, don't salute the flag. And for the people on the other side who are so up in anger or up in arms over people who are not standing or saluting the flag, why do you care? I bet you most of these people who are up in arms over the standing near the national anthem never served in the United States Army or any branch of the military. I guarantee you most of these people who are, up in arms, we should boycott the NFL, how dare them disrespect our flag. I bet they never served a day in the military or is in any type of something that has to do with the flag. So, I mean, it's gone way out of proportion. I mean, or way out of context. I mean, I guess Colin Kaepernick was the first one who didn't stand during the national anthem, and I think it was back during one of the police shootings, which seems to be more frequent, I guess because of social media, but he didn't stand, and he was protesting that. And okay, that's fine. That's your constitutional right as an American citizen not to stand during the national anthem. Never bothered me. I never really thought about it. Never really even occurred. Never really even crossed my mind. I don't know what that means, Kelvin. I really don't. But they're anyway. Sorry, I'm trying to stay on track here. Sorry, I lost the whole thought of what I was saying. Anyway, I guess just the simple matter of it is okay, Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was the first one who'd ever. I know what the Star Spangled Banner is. I know what the national anthem says, Kelvin. Okay, I could sing it for you if you want me to. Of course, I don't have a great voice, but if you want me to sing it, I'll be glad to. But anyway, Colin Kaepernick was the first person who didn't stand for the national anthem, and everybody made a big deal out of it. And I didn't really think anything about it then. I don't think anything about it now. I guarantee you this right here. They're making a big deal because Colin Kaepernick won't be signed. Well, it's because he sucks, okay? He's not a good quarterback. He had one good year. If that was Tom Brady that was not kneeling, I guarantee you somebody would sign him. It has nothing to do with the fact that he didn't stand during the national anthem. He's not a good quarterback. People figured out his schemes after the first year. It has nothing to do with his athletic ability. So, if patriotism is something that I guess is to somebody's own personal opinion or views, I guess, kind of like religion. Do you believe in God or you don't, or you Muslim or Christian or what? So I mean, if you feel so strongly about something that you don't want to stand during the national anthem, don't stand. And for the people who are upset about it, let them not stand. You're bringing more attention by saying, "Oh, this person's unpatriotic because they won't stand for the national anthem." Well, if they don't want to stand, don't stand. If you just shut up and let it go, nobody would get, or nobody would even care or even notice it. But I see all these posts all day long about this on Facebook. Oh, they didn't stand. This person didn't stand. That the president weighed in that these people should be fired for their jobs or something, or cut down. I mean, in the scheme of things, does it really matter? I mean, when we go back to it, I mean, we're a nation that's $21 trillion in debt. We've extended ourselves so far, and I've touched on that a lot of times, but the different things with our our social welfare state that we're developing into. I mean, when you look at almost 40% of our expenditures every year go to some type of government program, and you're being taxed to death. It really doesn't matter. So, I mean, if you don't want to stand during the national anthem, or you don't want to put your hand over your heart, don't do it. Ignore it. And for the people who have a problem with somebody who's not standing during the national anthem, don't address it. Just ignore it. I mean, who cares? I mean, as I watch a football game now, that's the only thing they're focused on is the players on the sidelines. Are they standing? Are they kneeling? Are they standing? Or and I've seen it I watched it tonight during the Redskins and Raiders. The entire Raiders team didn't stand. Okay, I didn't really care. Most of the Redskins players stood. There was like 3 that didn't stand, and there's people that was standing had their hands on the players that was kneeling in a show of solidarity. And most of the Redskins players was locked arm in arm, and I seen players singing the national anthem with it. And some of, as I was saying, it was very, you could see it was coming from the heart. There are a lot of people that love this country and want to show their patriotism. And there are people that are upset about things that are going on. And I feel your frustrations. I really do. Now, I mean, if I was at a sporting event and the national anthem was played, would I stand? Yeah, I'd stand. Would I put my hand over my heart? Probably. I mean, when I was in the military, we had to salute when it was being played. And, that was just part of the thing there, that you had to salute during the national anthem. But yeah, I would probably do it just out of respect. And it's the same thing with I guess kind of going with, don't want to get off topic, but Steph Curry doesn't want to go to the White House and meet Trump, so Trump rescinded the invitation to the whole Warriors team. I don't have a really problem with that. You don't want to go, Steph Curry, don't go. So he rescinded the whole invitation. It's not like I don't think Trump's going to lose any sleep over the fact that you didn't go to the White House to meet him. I mean, I really don't think the president cares about that. And I really don't either. I mean, Steph Curry's a basketball player. He's making, I don't know, what, $25-30 million a year. So, his opinion as far as meeting with the president, his opinion in $3 will buy me a Sunday paper with all the coupons. And I'll probably get more out of it. I don't really know why this has become such an issue. I guess I can recall back in the 80s, during the presidential race between Mike Dukakis and Bush Sr. or George H.W. Bush, this flag burning, Oh, God, if you burn the flag, the U.S. condemned to hell. They wanted to make a constitutional amendment that you couldn't burn the flag, which violates the First Amendment that gives you the right of freedom of speech and freedom of expression. A lot of people really have never read the Constitution. How many people, just from my friends that are watching, have you ever read it? I've read it a couple of times. I don't, I can't tell you, again, that I'm an expert on it, but I know what the First Amendment says. So look it up sometime, Kelvin. Read it. It's really long. It's boring too. When you start going in Amendment 1 and then Article 2 and Article 3, it lays it all out. But it's is a document. It's, it was written, what, 250 years ago, something like that. I mean, and at the time it was written, it was a different time that we're facing in today's life. But anyway, the First Amendment is freedom of speech, freedom of press, and gives you the right to do what you want to do. So for the players who don't want to stand during the national anthem, don't stand. Nobody really cares. For the people who are for standing and are so anti against these people, let them express their right constitutionally to not stand. I mean, that's their God-given right as an American. If you don't want to stand, you have the right to do that. So just ignore them and let them do it. But I see this hatred and that is spewed, because somebody doesn't stand during the national anthem. And I can see both sides of it. You're doing a silent protest. I'd rather it be a silent protest than a violent protest, somebody getting hurt. Would everybody not agree? I mean, if that's your silent protest of not standing during the national anthem, then by all means do that. And, I'd rather see that than somebody's life being dangerous. So, we have enough violence that's taking place in this country on a day-to-day basis that we don't need this to escalate out of hand and somebody get hurt because you don't stand for the national anthem. And I could really see that, the people who are pro-national anthem or pro-patriot, I don't really know how I would describe that, but the people, I mean, they almost seem like militant, almost in a way. I don't know if I should really go that far, but I mean, they're very angry and at the people who are expressing their right to not stand. My just suggestion to everybody is if you don't want to stand, don't stand. Honestly, I could care less if you stand during the national anthem. And for the people who have a problem with it, just ignore it. I mean, ignore it. Let it go. I mean, is that really going to change your life because somebody doesn't stand during the national anthem for a football game? I mean, is your life going to get any better or any worse because somebody doesn't stand for a song that was written during the War of 1812? I don't think so. And the sun's going to come up tomorrow too. I promise you. It's not going to. Yeah, you're right, Kelvin. Kelvin, just ignore it. Who cares? I mean, I don't care. I mean, you don't want to stand, don't stand. I mean, the media has pointed it out to everybody that, these players are not standing, and I don't know if they're trying to make it into a race thing, because I know that Colin Kaepernick first did that, but I mean, there's many black players that are standing and hands over their heart and saluting the flag. So, I hate it when they try to make it into something like that because I don't really see it that way. I just see it as somebody doing their silent protest. I may have gotten off topic here, and I'm sorry, guys, because sometimes I really do, but, it's not that big of a deal. It's really not that deep. The same thing about when I touched on earlier about burning the flag. If somebody wants to go out and take the United States flag and burn it, then that's their right. And honestly, I don't care if you burn the flag. If you want to go take your money and buy a flag and buy gasoline and buy a lighter to burn a flag, then by all means go waste your money by doing that. I'll take that 10 or 12, 20 bucks and go out to eat or something. I don't understand it. I don't understand. The people who are for or who try to make these, the people who try to make people out as evil because they don't stand or because they burn a flag or something, are totally wrong. Because, like I said, I hate to keep harping and hammering on something. That's their God-given constitutional right. It's protected by the First Amendment. So, I guess basically what I'm trying to say is, if you don't want to stand during the national anthem, don't stand. And if somebody doesn't stand, just ignore it. Who cares? I mean, who cares? I mean, in the scheme of things. I mean, you're still going to your life's not going to change. The outcome of the football game's not going to change. And we're still going to be $21 trillion in debt at the end of the day. So my suggestion is just enjoy the game. I mean, are they watching? I mean, is this going to affect the game? Is this going to change anybody's opinions? Just watch the game and enjoy it. And for the media, quit harping on it. Stop showing this. If you didn't show it so much and harp on it, I don't think we would have this divisiveness. But it's just to me, it's really too much to sit there and go, okay, well, this player doesn't stand during the national anthem, so he's unpatriotic, so he's un-American, so we need to, I wouldn't not even give it a second thought. I'm there to watch the game. I'm not there to watch somebody standing or sitting during the national anthem. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry if I got off point there a little bit tonight. It was just my thoughts from the game. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope y'all did enjoy the football games. Got the night off tomorrow so I can watch my Cowboys. Roll Tide. We did good today. But I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's video or the nightly podcast. And I'll be back soon to talk about something else. If anybody's got any comments or suggestions, message me, leave them in the inbox, because, I love to talk. That's always been one of my weaknesses. And I love talking about things like this. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Have a great evening. I'll see you soon.